What up, guys? Thursday, September 13th, evening here in Colorado. Beautiful evening. Want to update you guys with some things going on with Q and then a few articles. But first and foremost, before we get into that, I just want to say with all this censorship going around, the shitload of censorship, of course, the Reddit QAnon page has been banned, the Great Awakening page, and they've gone through and sanitized a whole bunch of Q-related subreddits and even comments related to Q on different pro-Trump Reddit accounts. It's just ridiculous. So with that being said, I just want to link you guys to a bunch of my channels, my accounts that I have, just in case this gets censored or Twitter gets censored, whatever the case. So in the description below, I'm going to link my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram, and my Gab. I'm going to start using Gab a little bit more. I'm also going to link my BitChute and newsletter and Patreon. So all those things, there'll just be a bunch of links. Go follow on all those accounts that you can, just in case they censor these channels. And that being said, now getting into Q on that same topic, that was something Q was talking about yesterday. So linking here a Verge article about Reddit censoring QAnon on their platform. Q asks content violations. Now content violations, and I believe, quote, violent hate speech, end quote, was the reason that Reddit censored these Great Awakening or QAnon subreddit pages. And of course, that is the most vague excuse in the world, and they use any excuse they can to censor things they want to censor, as you know. Q says, stay strong, stay together, censorship will fail. Those they attack the most are the biggest threat. Of course, you only take the flak when you're over target. Expect Twitter and Facebook force next. Now, of course, I mentioned you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook. I still use those plenty because they're very convenient to use, but we can't stay complacent on these big tech platforms. So again, Gab, BitChute, my newsletter, different things like this that are outside of the hands of these big corporations, let's start migrating towards. Q says the AJ template, so the template that they used to censor Alex Jones, was designed to attack and censor QAnon. That was the primary objective. So bring these excuses, bring these narratives out to the public. Hey, hate speech, censor this, censor this. They were going to try to use that. They are using that, mind you, to censor QAnon. And then this post right here, Q goes through a whole list of more attacks, another wave of mainstream media BS fake news articles that have came out over the past couple days about QAnon. Q says Panic in DC statements started a fire. So Panic in DC statements were all of these yesterday where Q is outing the names of the individuals. Apparently this just made a bunch of people in Washington, D.C. scared as heck. So they came out with a whole new wave of attacks. But the Q team is always many moves ahead. And then they say, suicide watch. Interesting. Q also asks massive fake news attention for just a conspiracy. Again, why would this be so heavily attacked if it was just a LARP for any reason? And then up here in this post, Q also learns us with some psychology, defining narcissist, dogma, aggression, suppression, projection, all these things that the mainstream media fake news and also the alternative media controlled opposition we're seeing are using to discredit and attack. These are these psychological games they play to control your mind. So that's really the main points I wanted to make in regards to Q that we had yesterday. There's been no post today, the 13th. So we can go through some other things. Actually, one last thing. Q linked a Twitter post from Fox News saying sexual misconduct. So the 60 Minutes honcho, his name's Jeff Fager, is out at CBS. Now, mind you, how many big names, board directors, CEOs, public figures, etc., have stepped down from their positions over the last 9 months because of, quote, sexual misconduct allegations? A lot. So basically, anytime you see somebody step down for sexual misconduct allegations, that basically means that they were put into submission or neutralized behind the scenes and shown the evidence of their much more serious crimes, in my mind, is how it happens, and they agree to step down. And then what is put into the public scene to keep the continuity or keep the peace is, quote, sexual misconduct. So anytime you see that, just know there's a whole lot more to the story, but be happy. Be happy a criminal is stepping down. So that's all in regards to Q. Let's go into just some random articles and then finish up here. So there was an executive order signed yesterday from the White House, and check this out, on imposing certain sanctions in the event of foreign interference in a United States election. So you know what this really means? This really means that if George Soros tries to do anything in any more elections, boom, executive order right here to out him. So this is very good news. Of course, a lot of people are going to be thinking Russia and all of that, but again, there's another layer to what's going on here behind the superficial optics, and that, I would imagine, is exactly what's going on with this. So Clinton Foundation, George Soros, Mossad, etc., any of their interference in our elections is now toast. Next article I want to share with you. So country by country, we are having the Vatican being outed. So check this out. In Germany, nearly 4,000 sex abuse cases were outed in a magazine report, and this magazine reported it apparently on Wednesday, about thousands of different sex abuse cases over the last few decades. So, and again, these were all with children 13 or younger. Most were boys. So again, country by country, the Vatican is being unraveled. Very, very good news. Right here, the belongings of missing WikiLeaks associate Kamfuis, I don't know how to say his name, found in Norway. So over the last few weeks, people were wondering where this WikiLeaks associate was. He was hiking in northern Norway and just went missing for weeks, and now they have found his remains. So if you're familiar at all with the way the world works, you're already suspecting some sort of foul play. We don't know any kind of surrounding details about this, though, but again, WikiLeaks associate, body washes up after weeks, something weird's gone on. And this being reported, 7 NYPD officers arrested in connection to prostitution and a gambling ring. So 7 members of the NYPD of various ranks were all arrested yesterday, and this just goes to show you the cleanup is, it's happening. The cleanup of human trafficking, of child sex abuse, not just in this country, but globally, is happening. But also remember, it's so infectious in our society in all levels, government, religious, all these people in places of power that abuse that power greatly. It's so infectious and infiltrated in our societies that it's going to take some time to clean up, right? But it's happening. That's the point, is that it's happening, and it's very good news. And then very last thing I want to share with you. So I see so much news going around about this observatory, this solar observatory in New Mexico that was evacuated, and the FBI sent agents to the place, even some helicopters. Nobody really knows what's going on. I have a lot to say about this. Have a lot of information to say about this. Unfortunately, that's going to be in the next video because I'm still piecing it together, and I have some very important things that I'm working in to share with it. So that's going to be in tomorrow morning's video, maybe a little later tonight. We'll see if I want to go live. Probably tomorrow morning. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. Be waiting for the next one. It'll be good. And the next one and the next one and the next one, they're all going to be great. I'm just going to share with you a bunch of wonderful information. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.